I will preside.
Yes. Who's that?
Good
Grace?
evening. It's Cheryl. It's Cheryl.
Oh, Cheryl Barnes. Okay. Sometimes
Yeah.
my ears are detecting you as somebody else.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
You can go ahead.
My name. Okay, thank you, Frida. Good evening, everyone. My name is Cheryl Baraza, and welcome to today's Learn to Earn session for African women in DeFi. I'm delighted to be your presiding officer for this significant discussion on DeFi solutions. Today, we will explore how DeFi is crucial for women and how these innovative financial tools can empower us to improve our lives and the lives of our families. DeFi, or decentralized finance, offers us the opportunity to access financial services without traditional intermediaries, making finance more accessible and inclusive. So the agenda for today includes a presentation by Jane Ogutu, who will provide us with an in-depth understanding of DeFi solutions and their potential benefits. Following Jane, we'll hear additional insights and remarks from our CEO, Dr. Macharia Warwingi, who will also share his expertise on how these solutions can be practically applied in our daily lives. After that, we'll have a Q&A session. After that, we'll have a Q&A session where you can ask any questions you may have. And then finally, we have our special guest speaker, Waiton Odhiambo, who will share his unique perspective on the topic. Afterwards, I will conclude the session with some closing remarks. So let's get started and make the most of this learning opportunity. Mrs. Jane Ogutu, the floor is yours.
Jane.
Okay, hello everyone.
Hello.
Am I audible enough?
Yes, you're audible, Mr. Jane.
Okay, my name is Jane Adhiambo, and today I will be your topic master. So we are going to go through solutions. So the word DeFi.
Somebody called Lillian needs to mute over there. Lillian. Yeah. Lillian, please mute.
So we know what is DeFi. Decentralized finance is a financial ecosystem built on blockchain technology, aiming to recreate and improve traditional financial systems like lending, borrowing, trading, and investing. Unlike traditional finance, DeFi operates without intermediaries such as banks and brokers, relying on decentralized technology and smart contracts. Key components of DeFi solutions are smart contracts. One, smart contracts are self-executing contracts with the terms of agreement written into code. They automate transactions, enforce rules, and eliminate the need for intermediaries. Example, Ethereum, Solana, Binance, Smart Chain. Decentralized exchange. Number two, decentralized exchanges. Platforms that facilitate peer-to-peer trading of cryptocurrencies without intermediaries. Examples, Uniswap, SushiSwaps, PancakeSwaps, lending and borrowing protocols. Okay. Users can lend out their crypto assets to earn interest or borrow assets by collateralizing their crypto. Examples, Ave, Compound, MakerDAO. The other one, stable coins, cryptocurrencies designed to minimize price volatility, typically pegged to stable assets like fiat currencies or commodities. Example, USDT, USDC, DAI. The next one, yield farming and liquidity mining. That one involves providing liquidity to DEX or lending platforms in exchange for rewards, often in the form of tokens. Strategies can be complex, optimizing returns from various DeFi protocols. The other one is derivatives and synthetic assets. It supports the creation and trading of synthetic assets and derivatives, allowing exposure to traditional assets like stocks, commodities, or indices through tokenized representations. Examples, the synthetics mirror protocol. Advantages of DeFi solutions are accessibility. DeFi services are accessible to anyone with an internet connection, promoting financial inclusion. The second one is transparency. Transactions are recorded on a public blockchain, ensuring transparency and reducing fraud risk. The third one is security. Smart contracts are auditable and executed as programmed, reducing manipulation and downtime risk. The fourth one, interoperability. DeFi protocols can interact with each other, creating a seamless ecosystem of financial products and services. Challenges and risk. The fifth one, security risk. Smart contracts can have vulnerabilities that may be exploited, leading to potential losses. Importance of rigorous code audits and security practices. Regulatory uncertainty. DeFi operates across borders, raising questions about regulatory compliance and legal jurisdiction. Potential for future regulations impacting DeFi operations. Another one is market volatility. DeFi assets can experience significant price fluctuations due to market systemic or technical factors. Importance of risk management and awareness, future outlook, innovative and growth, rapid development of new protocols and interrogations with traditional finance, enhanced scalability and usability to attract broader adoption. The other one is institutional interests. It increases interest from institutional investors seeking alternatives to traditional finance. The other one is potential disruption. DeFi could disrupt traditional finance system by offering more efficient, inclusive, and transparent alternatives. Importance of DeFi for women and families. Financial inclusion. Women, especially in developing countries, often faces barriers to accessing traditional financial services due to lack of documentation, credit history, or socio-cultural factors. DeFi provides an open, permissionless financial system accessible to anyone with an internet connection, offering financial services without the need for intermediaries or stringent requirements. Ecosystem empowerment. DeFi allows women to take control of their finances by participating in a wide range of financial activities such as saving, investing, lending, and borrowing. This empowerment can lead to greater economic independence and improved financial stability for women and their families. The other one is entrepreneurship opportunities. Women can access DeFi platforms for crowdfunding and raising capital for their business without relying on traditional financial institutions. DeFi can facilitate microloans and peer-to-peer lending, supporting small and medium-sized enterprises led by women. Education and skill development, that's another one. Engaging with DeFi platforms can help women develop financial literacy and technology skills, enhancing their ability to navigate the modern financial landscape. Educational initiatives and resources within the DeFi community can further empower women with the knowledge needed to leverage these technologies effectively. Community building and support. DeFi communities often foster collaboration and support networks, enabling women to connect, share, experience, and learn from each other. These networks can provide valuable resources and mentorship, aiding personal and professional growth. How women can use DeFi effectively? One is saving and investments. Women can use DeFi platforms to save and invest their assets, earning higher returns compared to traditional savings account. Participating in yield farming and staking can generate additional income streams. The second one is access to credit. DeFi lending platforms allow women to access credit by collateralizing their crypto assets, providing funds for personal or business use without traditional credit checks. The third one is insurance solutions. Decentralized insurance protocols offer affordable and accessible insurance products, protecting women and their families from unforeseen financial hardship. The fourth one is remittance and payments. DeFi facilitates low cost and efficient cross-border remittance, enabling women to send and receive money globally with a minimal fee and delays. The other one is participation in governance. Many DeFi projects offer governance tokens, allowing users to participate in decision-making processes. Women can have a voice in shaping the future of DeFi platforms, advocating for inclusive and equitable policies. And my conclusion is DeFi solutions represents a revolutionary thrift in accessing and executing financial services by leveraging blockchain technology. DeFi creates a more open and decentralized financial ecosystem. Understanding its core components, advantages, and risk is essential for everyone looking to participate or invest in this rapidly expanding sector. For women, DeFi offers unique opportunities for financial inclusion, empowerment, and economic growth, enabling them to improve their lives and those of their families. And that was my presentation for today. And back to the topic master.
Thank you, Jen, for such a good presentation. Thank you for helping us to see the potential that decentralized finance has. We have seen it's a game changer for women in Africa, and it can address most of the challenges that women face in traditional financial systems. We have seen the advantages of DeFi, such as accessibility, transparency, seamless financial transactions, and efficiency. And for sure, we all agree that DeFi has the potential to be a powerful tool for financial empowerment and even economic participation for women in Africa. So now I welcome Dr. Macharia Warwindi for additional insights.
All right. Thank you, Cheryl. And thank you, Jen. Wonderful presentation. Yeah. Now you've taken us back to the DeFi basics, and that's very important. So we should never forget where we get to the DeFi. First of all, DeFi helps to get the work of women into the market, placed in a way that is unprecedented. Unprecedented means there's no precedence. We have never seen this before. Okay, so we have never seen this before. That's all. Is if all women would understand that we have the technology to get them into the market in a manner that has never happened in the history of mankind. And women have been excluded them from the market for what you said, social reasons, social cultural reasons, which means that maybe men who run the banks, traditional finance system, do not consider women to be profitable, or they don't consider them smart enough to make financial decisions, and so they have systematically excluded them. All the way, that goes back, that's not recent, that goes back from the ages. Since those days, 5,000 years ago, that if you read all those, even the Holy Scriptures, 1,000 years ago, to the history of the Roman Empire, there have been very few women involved in finance. And now, not only do women have access to just ordinary finance, they also have access to the high finance. So you have had this local regular finance, the one that people do every day finance, to the high finance, which is synthetics and derivatives. So I cannot wait for this to happen. So ordinary finance includes buying, selling, that gives women a lot of power to buy and sell, which is access. Because in many cultures, in the social cultural reasons, women always have to have an intermediary whenever they want to make buy or sell decisions. Those decisions become decentralized in a decentralized finance, buying, selling, lending and borrowing. Okay. Well, that is not to get rid of the entire social structure, but it is a new form of freedom that gives women access to money, their identity, because the identity is tied to what? To the wallet, the 0x identity, which is every woman can have that so long as they have a cell phone. Okay, so I can't wait for the day that people are going to understand derivatives and synthetics. What derivatives mean is a derived value of the thing, and that is what has built these markets, these large capital markets in the Western world, in the capitalist nation. That is what has moved the, let's say, the budget. What you're struggling with today on the ground in African countries, like in Kenya, is because we have no clue about derivatives or even how they're formed. I'll just give you an example of derivative. A derivative is something that represents the value of something else. So the value is derived. It's not the thing itself, but that thing that is deriving value is actually traded as if it's the one that holds the value. Now, for example, now this big example, if you have a title deed to a building, let's say a piece of land, then you take that title deed to the bank, you can borrow money against it. Okay, So the title deed is representing the land itself. So the bank also can take that title deed and then create another instrument that says that is holding that title deed, and then it sells that instrument. That instrument is known as a derivative because the new instrument, which you could say a security interest, that will now be traded in the stock market, like the Nairobi Stock Exchange. The new instrument that being sold in the Nairobi stock market is not the title deed of the house, but it is a stock, let's say just a common stock that is being used to represent that house. So how this works, and this is what's called financial engineering, by the way. So those instruments are also known as synthetics because that value is manufactured. It's not real value. It's not real estate. You see, we have real estate and synthetic estate. A synthetic estate is in the derivatives market. Okay, let me repeat this to you so you understand it. For example, you have a company, a banking company like Kenya Commercial Bank. And Kenya Commercial Bank has got customers all over the country. And Kenya Commercial Bank is issuing mortgages that you can take your title deed to the Kenya Commercial Bank and borrow money, say mortgage. That mortgage, you're using it to pay the owner of the house, because if you have not paid up, so they give you cash money, liquid cash, so that you can pay off the bill. But then you're going to be owing money to Kenya Commercial Bank. Okay, so Kenya Commercial Bank, my nose is blocking because of this air conditioning. So Kenya Commercial Bank is not letting you alone. It's going to create mortgages for, say, let's take the minimum number of people, like 1,000 people, but you know, there may be more than 100,000 mortgages held by Kenya Commercial Bank. Supposing each mortgage was 1 million shillings, each mortgage for a unit, 1 million shilling, multiply that by 1,000, multiply that by 1,000 shillings. That is the value of those mortgages that are held is what? 1 billion. Manuel, could you mute Mr. Manuel? So the mortgages held, 1,000 mortgages represent 1 billion shillings value. Okay, that's so loud. You have to stop. You have to mute this guy. Yeah. Manuel.
Branches.
Emmanuel, could you mute yourself? I mean, I need to figure out how to do this. Okay. Huh? Okay. So what I need to do is go to the I don't want the chat. I want what? So I was trying to find out where to get this. Okay, so let's go back to mortgages. And so the mortgages, you have 1,000 mortgages, each 1 million shillings. That is 1 billion shillings worth of mortgages. So Kenya Commercial Bank can now say that we are holding. So Kenya Commercial Bank can say that we are holding 1 billion worth of mortgages, and then issue a new certificate. This new certificate is going to be worth 1 billion shillings. And then it can sell those 1 billion shillings. It can sell them as 1 million, 1 million units, each going for 1,000 shillings. Now those units are going to be stock units, securities. Those new stocks that are issued by Kenya Commercial Bank worth 1 billion shillings. Each stock is each stock going for 1,000 shillings. There's going to be 1 million, and now Kenya Commercial Bank can now issue them in the capital markets. Now those ones are known as derivatives because they are not the title deeds, but they derive their value to the real estate. You could say the real estate assets they are holding. Okay, so they're not real assets, but they're derivative assets. This now is going to become possible. It's actually already possible on the blockchain. A company called Synthetics. And now for housing estate, that's a very big one. But of course, these guys who are doing housing on the blockchain, lending on the blockchain, if we can figure this out, because this is pretty easy on the blockchain to do, then they can issue derivatives for those units. Like there's some guys we have talked to in our discovery calls who are doing real estate on the blockchain. So what they have to do is issue a crypto token like Actuate, and then people can buy that crypto, and the crypto is representing the rent that people are paying. And that then that rent, which is now you could put it in a liquid pool, becomes an LP, it's like a rent LP token. So that rent now represents another fungible token that now can be sold in another market. Now there are people who have created markets for such secondary or say derivative units. They are known as synthetics. So if you go to synthetics, then you're going to find that it's possible to mobilize that money, even the real estate money in the African villages. So far, it has not been possible to do that. And see, now, and I think even after this finance bill, there's not going to be going back anymore. That what people want to discover is how to package, using the blockchain to package investment, for particularly real estate investment, into derivatives which can be sold in the market, because real estate derivatives, they unlock a lot of value, so much money that you have heard this. Kenya Commercial Bank can raise 1 billion shillings by selling 1 million units each for 1,000 shillings. And that means it can sell to a lot of people, 1 million people, because you can get 1 million people to afford 1,000 shillings. See? So all that money comes to KCB. But KCB is not doing that today because of what? Because you cannot tell, they don't want to imagine. They want us to go and borrow money from somewhere so that we can build apartments. You cannot build apartments with borrowed money. All these home construction projects, the money for building those apartments and houses are right there among the people. The money is among the people. And that is what is known as financial engineering. All that, we don't now need to have financial engineers to do that, because all that financial engineering is available to you on your cell phone. And that's why we have to keep digging into this until everybody gets it. And then you're going to find that we don't have to worry about our politicians going to borrow money. They can borrow for their own selves, but not for everybody else. Okay? Not borrowing in our name. You see, not in our name anymore. That's what decentralized finance. In particular, women have to resist that. So we use the blockchain, go to the blockchain in a very, very profound way, because, and of course, you cannot go there without just on a tippy toe. You have to get immersed in it. That means you want to understand what the blockchain brings home. Okay, and that's going to take intensive reading, understanding, staying curious. Stay very, very curious, because if you're curious, then things are going to unfold for you. So again, understand that derivatives what even you can do with your Actuate tokens. Actuate tokens, and what surprised me is that people receive Actuate token and they just want to off-ramp them. But I can understand that today we have hard economic situations. But the reason we do this is so that we can educate ourselves on the use of these tokens and the token economy itself. So the idea is not to off-ramp them, but to study them, to see this power that they bring in, the power of creating even those derivatives of synthetics. But we cannot do that if we are going back to Kenya shilling. Yeah, if we go to Kenya shilling, if you're holding the tokens and you off-ramp them, you get back into the same state. Well, that's what I would like to say about that. So it's a very powerful, revealing thing that let's stay put, stay focused, stay curious, and things are going to work out very, very well. Back to you, Cheryl.
Thank you, Dr. Masharia, for those insights. And we agree, DeFi, decentralized finance, has enabled women to participate in different and better financial opportunities. So right now it's question and answer session. I welcome anyone who has a question about the topic or anything related to it. This is your chance to ask the question so that you can get the answer that you need. Any question? You can also type the question on the chatting area and we will answer you. As you think about the questions that you have or as you type them down, we have Mr. Whiton Odhiambo as our guest speaker. So Mr. Whiton, the floor is yours.
Okay, good evening, guys. I
Good
believe
evening.
there are some people. I believe some people have questions. Maybe we could clear the question and answer session first, so that I can jump in with my topic. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Whiton, if they have questions, they will be typing it. Then we can look at them after your presentation. Go ahead, Mr.
All
Whiton.
right. All right then. Okay, many of you don't know me, and this is my first time hearing about DeFi. So I was just curious, and then I know my background is not in finance, but I hope DeFi could work itself to be the currency of Kenya. Maybe have a question before I start my presentation. I could ask, what will happen to the economy of Kenya if DeFi is implemented? Thank you.
What will happen to the economy of Kenya when it's not if, when DeFi is implemented? What will happen to the economy of Kenya? You will see inexorable growth in the economy. That economy of Kenya comprises mountains upon mountains of dead capital. It's all dead capital. So when DeFi is implemented, the dead capital will come to life. That's what will happen. And then we estimate that the dead capital in Kenya is more than 700 times of the present GDP of the nation. So imagine if we are able to we're able to bring into life all that dead capital, 700 times the GDP. I tell you, give you an example that is probably relatable. I don't know how many decades you have lived in this planet, but in the 1990s and before, we didn't have email. We only communicated through the post office, okay? Then what happened when email came? That you could send an email to anybody in the world, you could communicate with anybody in the world without having to pay any extra cent. You did not need to buy a stamp. And so people were able to communicate much, much better. So first of all, that freedom of communication, very serious. And then when the internet came into place in the late 90s, in Web 2, that you could converse, what happened to the people? I tell you, if you ask you that question, because I was in school in the late 90s, we had, if to read a document, to read a book, you had to go to the library. We had the National Library at the, I think it was on Kenyatta Avenue somewhere. And then we had another library, the American Library, and we had the archives. So books were only in physical libraries. What happened when the internet came? We got hypertext transfer protocol. When books were distributed throughout everywhere in the world, that you only need to have access to the internet and you can read any book you want through Google Books. What happened? What happens is what you're seeing today. That knowledge is when there were only a few libraries that you could only get a book at, say, the university library, or you have to go to Nairobi. If you're not in the university, you have to go to the National Library Service. What has happened is that people have become literate, very highly educated, and people can execute some amazing things like what they are doing today. People can coordinate, they can cooperate. That is the freedom of knowledge, freedom of communication. What happened when WhatsApp came is that people now, for you to speak to somebody in China, you don't have to go and book for a line at the telephone house, telephone communication. We used to go to Kenya Post and Telecommunications, say you want to make an international call, and then you make an appointment there. Then they tell you, you can come on Tuesday afternoon at 3 p.m. and then you come with a bag of money because you have to pay money. Today, you don't need to do that. You can call anybody you want on your cell phone, somebody sitting anywhere in the world. So that open communication, people can communicate. Now, when DeFi comes, it's called the freedom of money. People can exchange. So instead of what people are afraid that it's going to destroy the economy, it's going to open economy in a very, very major way, because people are not interested in destruction. People are interested in building. Every time, if you're working in your own self-interest, you want to be wealthy. And and that's not just yourself alone, it is everybody in society. So you could see that the station of living, the standard of living begins to rising inexorably. That's what it is about. And see, DeFi is giving us opportunity to finance our own value. The value that we produce every day gets funded. Today, that value that is not funded because there's no mechanism for funding that value. There's no space, there's no place for funding the value that you produce on a daily basis. That value is lost, or let's say it's dead. That's what's called dead capital. So DeFi makes that dead capital come alive. I can tell you let's say almost 90% of the things that people do every single day has no representation in the marketplace in Africa. See? So the economy, it just goes down. Now, who is going to be, who is very scared about this? People in the traditional finance system, the people who run the central bank and the commercial banks, they are worried. But those people are the minority compared to the rest of the population. So we don't need to worry about them. What they need to do is find jobs in the decentralized finance markets, because they just need to learn blockchain and get in line with everybody else. It's like the people at the post office, they did not have to worry about what will happen to them when the email came. If they're already too old, they go in retirement. And if they're still young, they learn how the email works, and then they find other jobs. But do you see that even we had a university for training postal workers in Kenya. That university became multimedia university. See, which is on the southeast part of Karen. Multimedia university. So multimedia university, you could not say that something went wrong with it. Now multimedia university is teaching all kind of engineers, whether they are in information science. So I'm saying what happens is you have seen with the with the university education, even multimedia university, that was a Kenya Post Telecommunications Training College, becomes a multimedia because they don't have any need for postal services anymore because of the internet. So I think what you're going to see is transmutation of the business traditional finance market, which is very exciting. Yeah, I hope that works, Mr. Wharton Utiambo.
Okay, thank you for the elaborate answer. So can I start my presentation?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Mr. Whiteon, sorry, before that, we have one more question. So maybe Dr. Macharia can answer it and then you'll get back to your presentation. We have a question from Miss Iris. And she's asking, what are the opportunities for women in DeFi, like example of organizations we can key into?
Organization you can key into, you already know one is known as Actuate. And well, in decentralized finance. And I think that's a great question. What are we doing in Actuate in decentralized finance? First of all, this learning. Then we have, and of course, there are many other organizations that have got all kinds of projects going on, in particular in environmental science, like even planting trees and saving and lending, savings and investing. So I think this is a question that we can create a list of places that you can participate. And I think it's a great question. And this is why we are creating this summit in Nairobi in December, so that we can invite as many people as possible. You plan to come to Nairobi to the meeting so that you can meet a lot of these people. That's going to be in December. But between now and December, let's see, we have many people doing all kinds of decentralized finance businesses in Nairobi today, and helping people to get to onboard into the internet. So, and these are, I think we are the only ones who are we're now doing this community-based led type of work that is going to help people even learn how to use them to connect the blockchain with things that they do in everyday life. Yeah, including is women in decentralized finance. Yes. So I think what we're gonna do, I think question is asking, so those women in chamas, and we had said that next cohort of training, we shall do funding, how to raise money using decentralized finance. That's how to raise money for projects using decentralized finance. Yeah. So stay put and stay together, so that next cohort begins next month in July. Learning. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for answering that question, Macharia. So, Mr. Whiteon.
Okay, good evening again. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Whiteon Odhiambo. I'm a public health professional with over 5 years experience in community health improvement, health education, and advocacy. Currently, I serve as an M&E, Monitoring and Evaluation Officer in AGDEN. What AGDEN means is African Gender Development and Evaluators Network, where I oversee the health programs and their impact. So my topic of today, I wanted to talk about health literacy and how it is important in our society, especially to women. Because I have seen like almost 3/4 of us who are attending this webinar, if I can call it a webinar, are women. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
This is African women in DeFi.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, imagine this. Imagine what happened today. Like the people who are going for maandamano. Imagine you giving them water to wash off the tear gas that the police have blasted onto them. So this is what health literacy is like. But here's the thing. Many of our women do not have the knowledge on how to conduct health literacy. Maybe I know many of us are literate, but they do not possess health literacy. So I was working as a researcher at Garissa, where we wanted to find out the disease burden on TB, but we had a challenge. We had a challenge because the local leaders were not giving us support, didn't have buy-in. Even if you have the local groups who are well educated, but you didn't have buy-in with the community members. So what we did, we went individually to ask the observer of the Kijiji and ask the women to talk about their health matters. And through them, and we also published documents in Somali language, and distributed among the women who are coming to the clinics. And we told them to spread the word to other women who are, for example, coming to ANC clinics, antenatal clinics. So through this initiative, the women influenced other women to come, and this helped us to reach so many women who are in danger, for example, for getting NCDs, for example, like cancer. People had high blood pressure. But if we didn't talk to these women, and even if we didn't educate them, the message could not hit home. So when our women learn about the health issues, they become champions in their families. So for example, if you have children and a child, for example, is in school, they have been taught about, for example, hand washing. They will come to influence our home and tell us how to conduct our hand washing clearly. So if our women have this information of hand washing, for example, they can be champions for our family and for other families too, because I know women know they open up easily than us men, and they're being taken seriously than the children. So I believe women are the best way, they're the best people to be empowered. They also helped us to reach our goal of nutrition in the county, because I understood that they talked about, for example, the diseases that were affecting their children. Through them, they helped us to prevent so many other children from suffering from diseases like kwashiorkor. So I wanted to keep my presentation very small because I know the time is a little bit late. So I wanted to keep it as short as possible. But I want to tell you that let us talk about health. Like we talked about the latest episode, for example, the ongoing TV programs like Neema or Maria or Zora or something. So let us just keep talking about it, and let's make our health information as common as the ugali in our plate. In conclusion, because our women understand their health, they don't just improve our lives, they lift our entire community. I believe that point hits home, and thank you for according me this time. Thank you. If any question, please feel free to ask.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Wheaton. Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. I had an issue with my Zoom, or I don't know, data Safaricom.
All right,
Yeah,
welcome.
so
Did I hear there's the Queen of East African Women in DeFi? Hello.
Hello, Doc.
How are you? Welcome. Sorry, I'm sure it's not even Safaricom. It was It was some people trying to thwart the manner going on in the city. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. And also thank you, Cheryl, for coming through. Yeah, coming through for me, yeah. And also, yeah, Wheaton, thank you so much for agreeing to come to our platform and sharing your thoughts about women health. Thank you so much. So if you have any question, kindly ask. Yeah, I can see Miss Iris saying, I really enjoyed the session. Okay, thank you. Doc, do you have anything to say?
As always, you know that, Your Majesty, I have things to say because
Yeah.
amazing work. So, you know, it's almost like Mr. Wheaton, you've been here with us forever and ever because you said exactly the same thing as we have been saying. Like lifting women, not lifting a woman, lifting women lifts the entire community. Where did you hear that? You heard that when you said that women hold the entire sky. You see? Contrary to what Mao Zedong of China was saying in the 1950s, that women hold half the sky. No, women do not hold half the sky. By contrast, women hold the entire sky. So lifting up one woman lifts the entire sky. That lifts up the entire community. And so thank you so much for reminding us that, Mr. Odhiambo. And I want to agree with you that educating women educates the entire society, particularly health education, because women are the custodians of our own health. Because every house of the woman, women are mindful about what food is, what are we eating in the evening? What are we eating today? You know, men just wake up and go, but then women think about what are we going to eat today? And they can actually have a whole menu inside their mind for the entire week, a menu for the whole week. That Monday is this, Tuesday is this. They have that, and you wonder how they make it. Then they go shopping for food, nutrition. So you cannot know what's going on in the community if you do not ask women. So women becomes the greatest leverage points for health education in the community. That women are the greatest leverage points for education, for health information dissemination, health education in the country. Or let's say health literacy. Health literacy, as you said. And so then that's women and health education. And I'm thinking very important. So Mr. Wheaton, maybe we need to get long presentations by yourself. I think we're going to work out on that. But again, health access, because I believe that women are very, very critical. I think what is now the biggest challenge we're having is that when you're doing this health literacy, is how do you fund it? Where does the money come from to make that health literacy possible? So that we can teach, we can continue to educate women, so that when women will educate the people, the community itself. Yeah, because women become champions. How do we educate those women champions? And that's what we're talking about, decentralized finance. So we are looking for the marriage between women's ingenuity and the finance, which is the DeFi. And I think you have already you've got experience of going there in the communities and getting to work with people. So we were talking about this just earlier on in our translation science, biomed translation science in distribution. It's called a new market creation. See, in business, this is called new market creation. Now in healthcare, we call it health resourcing. Okay, same thing, different names. So we say the principles of new market creation is indwelling in that radical transactiveness. That what you have explained to us is that you cannot know what people need until you live among them. You have to dwell upon, you have to dwell in them. You have to dwell among them. It's called indwelling. And if you don't dwell among them, then you're going to be, as you said, that you are treating this, you have this TB program, but you get resistance until you dwell in them. and then you understood their language. Not only did you understand their language, you translated your teaching materials to their own language, to Somali language. That's what we were talking about earlier, just now. So that's, you see, the same principle. The principles, whether it's a new market creation for new products, like you want to distribute a new product, or you want to distribute new health information, you have to first of all dwell among the people, stay within the people. A lot of people don't know that. It's not a visit from the city. You go and visit Garissa one day and then you think you know everything. No, you have to stay there. Speak to the people. Speak to the women. Women are going to tell you exactly what's going on. Okay? When you get to know what's going on, then you're going to create solution. You're going to find the connections between this and that, the causes of this and that. That's why you discover the nutritional issues there, and you're able to overcome, you create implementations for even nutritional implementation to supply good for, even teach them. It's that people already have what they need, but they don't know how to use them. So health information, very important. And thank you so much. So we're going to be hearing from you many times in the future. So welcome to Actuate Nation. And now I think it's upon us to teach you DeFi. Okay. Learn first of all how to open a wallet. So fortunately we have Dolphin Akinyi here, who is highly conversant with that matter. Also being in finance, she will teach you about exchanges. And then because you're in the community, then also you'll go and teach the people in the community about DeFi. Let's bring up a lot of women, like those women you met over there in Garissa, so they can join us in the decentralized finance. All right?
Oh, okay. Okay, all right. I will try to convince them.
Well, I know you will convince them. Don't even try, because you just convince them. That's called Yoda. Yoda said, do or do not, there's no try. Well, it is that you will convince them, because you will convince them to get into decentralized finance, because you know their language now. You can write a small brochure in Somali language.
Yes, I could.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Doc. And Wheaton, I'll guide you through DeFi. You said you know nothing about DeFi, so I will explain to you in the course of this week. Okay. If there's no other question, I guess I will conclude the meeting. So, thank you everyone for attending this meeting. Thank you to our speaker, Jenogutu. I also follow up the meeting through YouTube. I was able to connect Jane, and also thank you, Daktari, for always being here for us, and also thank you, Wheaton, for gracing us with your presence to this meeting, and also Cheryl Baraza for being the presiding officer for this meeting, and also most importantly, thank you everyone for attending this meeting. I've just posted the link to the form filling. Kindly fill up your names, and if you do not have a wallet yet, kindly reach out to me, and I'll teach you how to make a wallet. So fill up your name. Let's see each other again next week, same time, on a Tuesday. With that, the meeting is adjourned. Yes, Doc.